So we're going to be going over how to switch out the pre-drill gearbox on a 990 FX machine, and we're going to go over the tools that you're going to need to do that job. Here we're going to have a 1/2-inch wrench with a 5/8, and then a set of Allen key set to take off the guards and any other socket caps that we have to remove the pre-drill gearbox, with the router wrench as well to hold your router bit that we'll be removing, to be able to create more access to remove as well the pre-drill gearbox. And as well, we're going to need a rail clamp to lock the head on the up position, and then a quick shut off air valve as well too, to be able to lift the head all the way to its max point upward vertically. First, you want to start off by turning off your 990 FX power completely off. Then afterwards, you'll take your rail clamp and then you're going to install that to keep your head from falling down when you turn off your air. So after setting the rail clamp, you're going to go ahead and start removing the head cover. There's going to be 3 button heads locking down the head cover. So you're going to go ahead and use your 532 Allen and remove them. And the head cover should just come right off. After installing your rail clamp to keep the head from falling down when you turn off your air, you're going to hook a separate line in your assist cylinder on the B side port, so it pulls your head all the way up to its max point, so you can have more clear access to remove the pre-drill gearbox. And then we're just going to move the rail clamp now up against the bottom, so now your head is maxed out all the way up. After clamping up the head to its maximum height, we're going to go ahead and move manually the head over so the router sits above the dust collection guard that's located on the front side here. And after, we're going to remove this bit right now, so we're able to remove the dust collection guard, so there's clearance to pull it out and it doesn't hit anything. Good. Let it just spins right off. That's it. And then after removing a router bit and our dust collection guard, you're going to go ahead and move the whole cutting head towards the right side, and then go under the router head stop bolts and remove the pre-drill hard stop, so allow us to give us more room access to remove the pre-drill gearbox when we pull it forward. So now, after removing the hex bolts that was attaching the cylinder to the pre-drill plate. That will allow you to pull the pre-drill all the way forward and access the 2 hex bolts that are located on the bottom side that attach the plate to the pre-drill gearbox. After removing the 2 hex bolts from the front side, now you're going to go on the back side, and there's going to be 2 socket cap screws on each side that you're going to require a 3/16 Allen wrench to remove. So it's one this side and one on the opposite side. After removing the last socket cap screw attaching the pre-drill gearbox on the main plate, you're going to go ahead and first cut the zip ties and then remove the air lines, the 3/8 and the 1/4 20, or the 1/4 line. Then your pre-drill should be completely free to be able to pull out. After removing the pre-drill gearbox off the main plate on the 990 FX machine, all you have to do is remove those 4 hex bolts located on the back side of the gearbox, and removing those will allow you to remove the gearbox and attach the new one. So after attaching the new gearbox, all you have to do is take the new one and reverse the whole process that we went through to install the new pre-drill gearbox in your 990 machine.
Today we're going to be taking apart a shaft, taking apart a gearbox to replace shafts. These are the tools we're going to need. Large punch, a 532 punch, a hole, a punch to mark on the chuck shafts, pliers, file, hammer, crowbar, mallet. This is a 332 Allen, cheater bar, 1/8 Allen, 3/16 Allen, just a large Allen. We got some scissors and we got 2 thou shim. We got 6 screwdriver bits, a flat plate to check the height of the chucks, and an aluminum striking bar to check and adjust the concentricity of the screwdriver chucks. Here we're going to identify if there's a problem internally. Here what you're going to do is you're going to spin the main drive, hold on to the chucks, and if it stops, it's working properly. If this happens, we know that there's an issue with an idler gear. So here we have a different type of gearbox. This is a pre-drill. If you needed to replace a shaft or anything on the inside, to disassemble it in the beginning is different. Here we have a Jacobs. Back we have a Lovejoy. In order to disassemble it, we'll need to remove this. By doing that, we'll add this large Allen, this 3/16 Allen key. We'll open up this Jacobs, and what we're going to do is we're going to loosen it up and allow this Allen key to hold the shafts in place. Now it's broken loose, we can remove the Jacobs. We'll remove the Lovejoy, remove these socket heads. From there, you'll be able to take apart and disassemble this gearbox to change out any shafts that need to be taken care of. From here, let's flip it over and remove these 3/16 screws so we can disassemble the box. Here we have old grease that will need to be cleaned out just in case there's any metal shavings that could interfere with the new assembly and create a new jam. So from here we have the box open. We'll need to remove the chuck shafts. If you have trouble, you can grab the mallet, give it a little tap. Pull it out. The next step would be to punch out these 532 roll pins. I'm going to show you on the vise how to go from there. From here, we have the chuck tightly in the vise. What we're going to do is we're going to punch out the roll pin. Remove the gear. Put in a new shaft. Reapply the gear. Line it up. This is a 532 by 3/4 roll pin. Use the larger punch. And try to get it in the middle. For video purposes, normally the gearbox, you would clean up all the old grease, clean up all the gear shafts. That way it's clean of all the old grease just in case there's any metal shavings that can create a problem. But for video purposes, we're going to leave it as here. You would install the new shafts, mesh it up with the other gears, and then from there you would apply fresh grease and then close up the box and then move forward from there. From here, to close up the box, we'll grab 2 steel blocks. That way the aluminum box can rest, and there's clearance for those chucks. And grab the other half. Again, clean the grease out. Line up the top and the bottom, identified by the 1032 holes on the sides. Give it a tap on the sides, and then reinstall these bolts. When you tighten up the box, you're going to make sure that lays flat on each side, or if you can't get it perfect, split the difference. That way it can sit properly. For the final step, we'll reattach the Lovejoy. We'll add this key stock. try to get this key stock to sit flush with the main drive. We'll add in the Lovejoy. If the Lovejoy gives you trouble, you can do is put a piece of wood, just tap it in. I'm looking to check to see if it's flush with the shaft. If it goes a little below flush, just kind of pry it up a little bit. Grab our 1/8 Allen key, tighten up this set screw that's in here. Use our cheater bar to get it tight. And then we'll add this second set screw. Once this is tight, this is ready to go and can move on to the next step of being installed onto the machine. For this next step, we're going to check the consistency and the trueness of the drill bit once we reinstall the Jacobs onto the new shafts. For this, we'll need this aluminum striking tool, this Jacobs key, a straight gauge pin, this hammer, and this dial indicator. At this point, I already have the gearbox clamped up. I have this piece of metal to help not mar up the gearbox and keep this still from moving, from giving us false reads. At this point, I'll add this Jacobs. I'll add this gauge pin to this Jacobs. Tighten that up. I'll add this indicator. And what we're going to do is we're going to check to see if it's within 2 thou. Just a little bit over. So we're going to find the high spot. And we're going to strike here, not on the body that can damage the Jacobs. Recheck. That's in with 2 thou, and that'll be okay. And that's how you check the trueness of the Jacobs.